Okay, did you want to just get started, Janet?
Absolutely. Thank you all for being on the call. I am super excited for this quick call and for this campaign. Eileen Ryan, we're going to give some kudos to Eileen because she came to me a couple weeks ago with this great idea of what are we going to do to get our medical student numbers up? We have lost a significant number over the past couple of years. I think COVID played a part in it because we're not able to be out at some of their events that we've been at in the past. I think that the renewal of, them having to take action that still hasn't kind of caught on, like the new folks are going to know moving forward, but those couple years of students who have to take an action rather than having their membership just roll. So we've seen we've seen a significant decline in our medical student membership, and that hurts us as a statewide organization because we lack the luster. Our engagement goes down. For the counties, I know many of you have students designated on your board, student positions designated on your board. I know that affects some of your House of Delegates numbers. So Eileen came to me a couple weeks ago, and I'm really going to give a big shout out to Eileen, not only because she's on the call, because I would give it if she wasn't on the call, but she had this great idea of how can we just do a membership campaign geared towards students. It's a free membership. It's really easy for them to join. It's a win-win for everyone. And she came up with this great idea. Claire and I worked a little bit with her idea, tweaked it a bit, and then we went back to her and Mark and said, we absolutely love this. And rather than it being a Philadelphia specific recruitment, let's make it statewide. Let's see if we can get all schools involved and increase membership across the board for everyone. Mark and Eileen were absolutely in agreement with what we were going to do. So here we are. So in the month of April, we are going to do a medical student challenge. So basically, we are challenging each school to recruit the most number of members. I am, as I'm talking, going to share. I don't have, oh, yes, I do. Okay, I am going to share. I have it open, so why would I not be able? Samantha, are you able to share? And do you happen to have I have both documents up, but for some reason.
Let me pull them up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because for some reason it's not giving me, oh wait, show all windows. There we go. I think I have it, Samantha.
Okay.
Okay.
I have it if you don't.
I do, and I just want to move this over a little bit. Let's go up to the top. So this flyer is, we worked together as both with Eileen as well as with our communications and marketing team to basically do a play on the word match. So we know that our students just match for their residency, so that word might ring a bell for them. We also know that a tournament is always exciting if somebody gets to possibly win something or be the highest and the best. So we are using the play on the brackets, as you can see. So we're doing a tournament of student champions. So basically, PAMED is hosting a medical school recruitment challenge during the month of April. So it will start April 1st and it will go through April 30th. Any medical student who joins using what I'll share with you in a second will be counted in this contest, in this match. And at the end of the month, whatever school has recruited the most members during that time frame, they will receive what we're calling dinner on us. So PAMED will come to said school. We will hopefully be able to bring leaders. So we're hoping that we might have Dr. Jackson, maybe Marty, possibly a trustee from the respected area, as well as, excuse me, the County Medical Society president, or maybe there's a County Medical Society early career resident or student who is on the county board, but collaborate with the leadership from PAMED as well as from the County Medical Society, where those individuals get to go and stand and talk to and be available to those students. They will pick up a to-go dinner and they can choose to come and say, here's my invitation, I want my dinner, and run, or they can network with our leaders, which is what, of course, we're hoping we'll do. In this campaign, what we anticipate and what we hope for is that not only will the schools see, oh, PAMED and XYZ County Medical Society are supporting our students. They have an offering, they have something to give. And we're hoping that this might bring us back up to the top of their forefront, so that when they have their new students come in, they're going to call us, whether it's the county or the state, and say, might you come in and have a table at their club fair? We're hoping that the deans will take this and say, wait a second, as we enroll new students, as we interact with these students, we should offer this free membership to our students, and then in turn have an ongoing increase in membership moving forward. For us, obviously, the more students that we can represent, the stronger that we'll be as a student voice. And for counties, the more students that you have, again, you get the stronger voice. You also have that ability to interact. So to qualify for this, and this is probably the most important piece for all of us to realize, and I'm highlighting it now for you. So when a student comes into the PAMED website for the first time, in order for them to do anything on the back end, so in order for them to take opioids, for example, or in order for them to even think about joining, they must create an account. Very, very simple. They add a few components into the website. They get to create an account. Now they have a username and password. The second piece is that they have to click join. I have had so many students and residents actually come back to me and say, I created an account and I'm not able to access anything, and this is still saying I'm not a member. So you making sure that they hit that join button is important. In this particular campaign, we realized that, and this too is in thanks to Eileen. One of the things that we realize is we can pull medical student lists over and over and over again, but we don't have a designator to determine who comes from what school, who represents which school, unless if they are an elected leader or a representative. So we want to have this qualifier that all students must include their medical school in their company recipient line. We will ensure that this is on all of our communications. We'll ensure that when we communicate to the deans, they understand this, but we wanted to make sure that you all understand this too, because if Joe Smith joins and becomes a student member, that's wonderful. We get to count that individual in the end. But if we don't know that Joe Smith came from LECOM, we can't count that person for the LECOM's numbers. So this was the best way for us to do that, and for us to really be able to determine which school at the end of the competition, which school wins. So we talked, a little bit about the school celebration. We are 100% going to come out to not only the deans to try and schedule that, but to the counties. When we do have that winning school, we want to work with the County Medical Society that is affiliated with that school. I'm so sorry. TJ, go ahead.
No. I was waiting when you're done, because I think that I just want to make it awkward and watch you drink coffee or clear your throat. Now, one thing I would suggest is I know my med school students that are here are uber competitive. Maybe getting some sort of trophy or something that they would have with that. And I would just say, it's also like a tongue-in-cheek kind of a goofball kind of thing, but I know like that med school at the Drexel Med School here has a trophy case. Like they literally have like a kickball trophy that they have between the other schools.
Okay.
Like they are super kind of like Hogwarts competitive, each house kind of thing. So I think having something like that along with, I always find here free food is the way to go.
Right.
So I think absolutely everything here is right on par with attracting people, but I think having something
material.
that they, post the trophy, especially because if we're doing it, making it look like a March Madness bracket too on the top,
Mhm.
it kind of adds itself to it as well. So that's my 2 cents on that too.
I appreciate that. Sam and Mila, if either one of you have, any comments, by all means, jump in. I think that I like that idea, and I think that it's worth entertaining the thoughts on that. Samantha, it looks like you unmuted. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, first of all, I immediately thought of the Hogwarts house competition too, when
Yeah.
this was presented
Hogwarts
to me, so
Yeah.
I appreciate that I'm not just crazy and TJ thought of it too. And I think we could probably find a cheap,
Mhm.
I mean, they're not very expensive,
Yeah.
so I can check with Claire, but
I would even think
I think that might
the
be a good
goofier
idea.
the better. I think
Yeah.
that's more tongue in cheek, like a participation trophy
Mhm.
meets
Right.
the Tri-Wizard Cup. Something goofy would be great.
Well, and even if we played on like this little character who is holding a flag.
I was just gonna say that you got the
Yeah.
little character right there.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe we add PAMED, and maybe we even add, let's say Philadelphia County is the school. So maybe we do PAMED and PCMS, MSS or something. Maybe we find a way to collaborate on those. I love that idea. I appreciate it. We'll definitely look into that. And I think that there's also an opportunity, and Eileen, if you want to jump in, you're welcome to, but I think that there is an opportunity for the counties also to step up to the plate in whatever way they best see fit. So maybe it's sending your physician leaders or your county leaders to this dinner on us so that you're represented. Maybe there's a gift that the county might want to give in regards to that. And I think that all of that is appropriate. And once we get to that point, once any of that's decided, we will certainly share that amongst all the schools and the groups.
Sure. In Philadelphia especially, we get asked all the time to give a donation because they have student activity committee. That's how they run all of their little seminars and little socials and just outings. So as we discussed all of this, we wanted to also make sure that the students know that at least at PCMS, we're going to offer a bonus. In other words, the school that wins, if it's a Philadelphia school, obviously, will get a financial bonus with money to go towards their student activity fund. So what that amount is, we were throwing around $250. That dollar amount hasn't been determined yet by the board, approved, but they also like that idea. So obviously, if they do win, they'll get the great little character that's right there, and all of the accolades that come to being, the students that win, plus they'll get a bonus towards their student activity. So just want to throw that out there and hope that the rest of the counties will give a little donation as well. It kind of looks good when you're pushing this thing to say, and, we got a bonus for you. So, and your idea is spot on, TJ.
And I really appreciate you sharing that. I don't think that that's anything that the other counties have to do. I think it's a great idea. I think whether it's, maybe you pull, if you don't have those types of funds, maybe you do something where you highlight these new members in your membership communication or what have you. I think every county can tailor this to suit them the best. The image that you're looking at now is our social media image. This too will be shared. Both documents will be shared with all of you after today, but this is what we're going to use on a social media perspective. And I'm going to work with Sam to suggest hashtags so that across the board, if all of you are sharing, and if we have our medical student section governing council sharing, and if we have the school sharing, that hopefully everybody will be using the same hashtags. Certainly, we invite you to use your own hashtags, but this is the opportunity, in my opinion, for all of us to increase our followings, not only with medical students, but across the board, because we know that each student is going to have a follower or a friend or someone in their social media network that might somehow relate to PAMED and the benefits and offerings that we have. Maybe they're not a student and maybe this particular campaign doesn't resonate with them, but maybe this campaign will open their eyes and say, oh, I don't know much about PAMED. I'm going to start following them. I don't know much about Allegheny County Medical Society. I'm going to follow them. So both of these documents are going to come to all of you. We welcome you to support this in whatever manner you see fit. And we're super excited to have all of you work with us to move forward. Eileen and I were talking the other day, and this is something I'm just going to throw out to you. So one of my initiatives is on Friday morning, I will be reaching out to the deans of not academic affairs, of student
Affairs.
Yeah. And so I will be inviting those individuals to share this message with their students. One of Eileen's suggestions were at one particular school, she has a fantastic relationship with a dean, with a leader, and that is going to go further than me blindly reaching out to this person. So Eileen and I together will reach out to Jefferson so that both of our names are on that email, both of our contact information is there for that individual. But Eileen is hopefully her relationship with that individual is going to maybe encourage them to participate more. So if any of you have relationships and you want to do the same thing, I'm happy to collaborate with you. I'm happy to utilize your relationships either to get me in the door or to come together and say, hey, would you help us with this? This is an initiative with the state and the County Medical Society.
Janet, will you talk a little bit about the conversation we had so everyone understands regarding those that did not renew are now going to be counted as a new member and part of this contest?
And they won't necessarily be counted as a new member. They will be counted as part of this contest because they're not currently a member. So anyone who is not currently a member. So one of the questions that Eileen came to me with is, what happens if I had 30 students who were dropped for not renewing? And my response to Eileen was, if they take the action to become a member in the month of April, they will be counted in this contest because they are currently not a member. So we are past the renewal stage in the due cycle. So anyone who is not renewed as of now is considered a non-member. So if someone were to reinstate, they would be added to this list because that list that we're running on April 1st is not going to reflect that individual. And this is an initiative to increase our medical student numbers across the board in the month of April. So anyone who takes that action, adds their school in the company recipient line, and goes through the steps to join will be counted in this contest.
So if this works, or if this can kind of be, could this potentially be a pilot? Do you know how hard that is to say in the line? To maybe do for residency too? Because that's the other part where I think our numbers really went down post, during COVID. And if that's a way of doing the same thing of a carrot and a stick to get some of the residency students or residency physicians back, I think that would be another huge boost for all of us as well.
TJ, I appreciate that, and my mind immediately went to that when we started thinking about the details of this. I think with residencies, we'll have to tweak it a little bit. It would have to be county driven, right? Because there's so many residency programs, but I too felt the same way because it's a free membership. It's an awareness. That is truly with students, residents, and fellows. It is an awareness that A, you've got this opportunity. B, it's free. C, it's here for you, but you have to take the action to do it.
Yeah.
And so this is a great way to do that. Now, I'm adding notes to my list, and I will certainly bring this up with Claire, that if this is successful and it goes well, does it make sense to stop and say, okay, when do the typical residency programs begin? I think that it's July. If that's the case, do we give them July to get comfortable and do we do a program in August? Or
Yeah.
if this was overwhelming and too much work for everybody, do we wait till next year? But I'm not opposed to bringing that up to Claire and pulling Katie Jordan in as the RFS staff person, because if it works, this is a really great and, in my opinion, easy way.
Yeah.
All of us to increase membership within these categories.
Well, I just wanted to say to all of you, don't be frustrated because this is the first time, obviously, we're doing it in April. But I also wanted to ask all of you, because obviously we all like the idea of this. Sounds pretty good to try with the residents, but I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that we will all agree to do it when the new students come in, which is like the end of August, the beginning of September.
Yeah.
And let's do this challenge again, because it may work, but things are always slow taking off. So I would love to see us do this again for the month of September. When the new kids are coming on board, because we really want to get them energized. We really want to get them excited. We really want to tell them about the medical society. And there's no better way to do it than the second and third years, especially trying to get the first years acclimated to all of this. So that's what I'm hoping for. So, I want this to be successful in April, but it's going to be like everything else, a slow go till the catch is on.
Well, and I think that, one of the reasons why we very quickly acted on this and said April was so many people will graduate in May.
Right.
Will go out of session for the summer. Some people won't be reachable. Those, we're really hoping that our students are going to do a lot of peer-to-peer.
Yep.
So yes, we want PAMED to do this recruitment. We want the counties to do this recruitment, but we really feel that the onus in this case is going to be on our students and our schools to really share the word, because we don't have student non-member email addresses, right? So we did this in April very purposely because we know that we can reach folks prior to the school year ending. To your point about potentially doing it again at the end of or at the beginning of the school year, I think that we will have to look from a marketing and communication standpoint as to how much is this taking. Is Sam and I and Mila have all talked about it, and we think we have a really great plan that this is all we're going to need to do. But if we realize that there's a lot of other things that we need to do, it might not fit because of the House of Delegates and because of how busy our fall is, but maybe it fits in November, right? Maybe it fits after the House of Delegates and we kick off, hey, you've all been in school for 2 months. So I think that all of these things are valuable. They're things to keep in the back of our mind. One of the things that I would like to ask of all of you is, as you share the message, as you interact with either your board or your students, your residents, your whomever, if you get feedback, send it my way. You are more than welcome at any time, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent feedback. Letting us know what's working, what's not working, or what challenges you're having will allow us that in the event this is successful and we do it again, we'll be able to tweak those things. And I'm just really excited. Does anybody else have any questions?
No, this is great. I'm excited too. Thank you guys for coming up with the idea and seeing the need. It's definitely something in Berks we need to address too. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Janet, can I just add that next week's county membership marketing email, the feature will be this. So there'll be like a ton of posts and additional graphics and mock-up emails and things like that you can pull from.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I haven't done it yet because tomorrow's Doctor's Day.
we're all a little busy with Doctor's Day, but I will thank everybody for jumping on the call today. I know, like Mila said, it was short notice, but we wanted to make sure to give you the summary of it prior to April 1st. We didn't want you to just receive your first email and say, what is this? We really want all of you to assist and help us with this and do this as a partnership of the PAMED and the county medical societies are working together to increase membership and engagement with our medical students. And I think if we all keep that in mind, I think that we're going to be successful. Even if we only recruit 100 students, it's successful because it's 100 more that we might not have touched. So I'm looking forward to it too. I appreciate the head shakes and the suggestions, and moving forward, if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself, Mila, or Samantha, and just kind of give us thoughts and critiques and opinions. Okay,
Thanks, Janet.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Eileen.
absolutely.
Thanks, Janet.
Absolutely,
you.
guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.